Just a trigger warning on this video for transphobia, bullying, and the death of an individual, specifically the death of a minor. For this video, I'm gonna try and talk slowly, at least fairly slow, because for one thing, I talk pretty fast in general, but also if I talked at my normal speed, I probably will become very angry very quickly. So I'm going to be trying to tone it down a little bit given the gravity of the situation. I'm discussing this situation in order to not only bring light to what has happened, but also to discuss the mismanagement or mishandling of this situation. Nex Benedict was a 16-year-old student at the Owasso High School West Campus. They were transgender and a member of the Choctaw tribe. On February 7th, Nex and another transgender student were cornered and beaten in one of the high school restrooms. The nurse said that Nex was safe to go home, but should also consider seeking genuine hospital treatment. Nex was then suspended and sent home. They sought out medical treatment and were sent home, where they collapsed on February 8th. They were then taken to a hospital in Tulsa, where they were pronounced dead at 3:30 p.m. That being said, why am I talking about this situation? As I mentioned in previous videos, I myself am a transgender indigenous person who attended public schools here in Oklahoma. Though I do need to clarify that Nex was Choctaw, I am Cherokee, and I have graduated high school since 2022. Nonetheless, I can't help but see the similarities between my experience and Nex's, and the experience of Nex's and countless other transgender and queer individuals who are in Oklahoma. In recent years, Oklahoma has become more and more hostile towards the queer community. Even by this time last year, Oklahoma lawmakers had introduced around 40 anti-LGBTQ bills, with Governor Kevin Stitt passing a law which requires transgender students to use the bathroom that matches their assigned sex. Need I remind you that Nex was attacked in a restroom. Since the murder has happened, there has been a lot of outcry on the internet, with responses coming not only from Nex's mother, but from Chief Chuck Hoskin of the Cherokee Nation and Chief Gary Batten of the Choctaw Tribe. At this time, we are thankful of the ongoing support and did not expect the love from everyone. We are sorry for not using their name correctly. This is in reference to their GoFundMe. As parents, we are still learning the correct forms. Please do not judge us as Nex was judged. Please do not bully us for our ignorance on the subject. Nex gave us their respect, and we are sorry that in grief we overlooked them. I lost my child. The headstone will have the correct name of their choice. The rest of monies will go to children dealing with the right to be who they feel they are. In Nex Benedict's name, God bless. The death of Nex Benedict was a tragedy. As parents, the First Lady and I are heartbroken. As chief, the health and welfare of all children within the Cherokee Nation reservation is of concern. Upon searching our database, we have no indication that Nex was a citizen of the Cherokee Nation. However, Nex was a child living within our reservation and deserved love, support, and to be kept safe. As a partner with all law enforcement agencies across the reservation, I have asked the Cherokee Nation Marshal Service to offer its support to the Owasso Police Department in investigating Nex's case. The facts relating to Nex's death are not yet fully clear. We should take care to support law enforcement and other authorities as they investigate this matter. However, the public sentiments expressed in response to Nex's death move me to reaffirm the statement I made in January on the subject of celebrating diversity, equity, and inclusion in public education. All children benefit from learning in an environment in which we can celebrate diversity and recognize the dignity of everyone's experience. The more we learn about Nex's life, the more we come to know a wonderful child whose experience and identity mattered and was worth celebrating. Above all, Nex deserved to live a full life. It was cut tragically short. May Nex rest in peace. The loss of a child is always difficult for a community and a family to accept. Although Nex does not appear to be affiliated with our tribe, their mother, Sue Benedict, is a registered member. Nex's death weighs heavily on the hearts of the Choctaw people. We pray Nex's family and their loved ones will find comfort. Interestingly, there has also been responses from those who are responsible for Nex's death. I've already mentioned that Kevin Stitt has consistently, time and time again, done everything in his power to disenfranchise queer Oklahomans. But on top of that, Ryan Walters has also gone out of his way as the state superintendent of public schools to demonize LGBT people, going as far to remove books from library shelves because they discussed gender and sexuality, and even appointed domestic terrorist Chaya Raichik to the Oklahoma Library Media Committee. All three of these people have responded to this incident in their own way, to say the least. Governor Kevin Stitt released this statement, which reads, "Sarah and I are saddened to learn of the death of Nex Benedict, and our hearts go out to Nex's family, classmates, and the Owasso community. The death of any child in an Oklahoma school is a tragedy, and bullies must be held accountable. As we await for the results of the investigation, I urge Owasso Police and Owasso Public Schools to be forthcoming and transparent with the public." I personally find it incredibly interesting that Kevin Stitt says that bullies must be held accountable, given the fact that he is the one who signed the transgender bathroom bill, which makes it to where transgender students have to use the bathroom of their assigned sex at birth. He's the reason that Nex was in that bathroom that day. He is the reason that Nex was attacked in the women's restroom. He is the reason that Nex is dead. Ryan Walters also released a statement which reads, "The safety and security of our students is my top priority, as well as the first responsibility of Oklahoma schools. I mourn the loss of our student in Owasso and pray for God's comfort for the family and the entire Owasso community. As part of Oklahoma's comprehensive school-based medical health implementation, I have committed all available sources from the OSDE to assist Owasso schools during this tragedy and await the full results of the ongoing investigation of the incident by law enforcement." Ryan Walters is not mourning the death of this child. Ryan Walters has gone out of his way time and time again to create the most hostile environment he can for Oklahoma students. To say that he is mourning the death of this child and that he reaches out to the Owasso community and he prays that God comforts the family, it's not true. It's a lie. He's saying this to cover his ass. He could not care less about the death of this child. The only reason he's saying anything about it now is because he knows that the blood is on his hands and he will have to live with that for the rest of his life. Ryan Walters' response is by far one of the most inappropriate things I have ever seen. But one does take superiority over his, and that is Chaya Raichik's apology, which isn't an apology. It just doesn't exist. She hasn't said anything about it, other than just saying that she had nothing to do with it. Just to expand a little bit more on what I was saying about Chaya Raichik, basically like trying to absolve herself of any responsibility, here's a tweet that basically says that, you know, this whole thing is a false media report by the evil leftist media. And here it is in Chaya Raichik's liked tweets. Here's another one, just chalking it up as a false media complaint, trying to demonize Chaya Raichik. There's another one that she liked where it basically just claims that Nex died of an overdose. Here's just a couple others trying to absolve Chaya Raichik. Here's one that even goes as far to demonize a known transgender content creator, just even further trying to push blame while also calling someone a pedophile. Super cool, totally normal behavior, totally normal response following the death of a child. And here's just a couple other ones attacking other people for trying to call her out for her shitty behavior and how it led to this child's death. Here's a tweet that she literally made 2 hours ago as of the time of filming and has since deleted, where she basically says that anyone who is calling her out is a liar. Instead, she's actually gone out of her way to make it seem like she has nothing to do with the death at all. You see, the preliminary autopsy report was released, which said that Nex did not die from trauma. Now, I am not a mortician, but neither is Chaya Raichik, so let me elaborate. A preliminary autopsy is an initial report. It is not a fully in-depth analysis. It has nothing to do with toxicology, nothing else about like looking more internally. It is a surface level, internal and external view to see what could have happened or like how this person could have died. Now, I'm not saying that it's like totally false or anything like that. Autopsy reports, even initial ones, usually are around like 83 to 85% accurate, but it doesn't change the fact that this is still a preliminary report. We do not have the full information, and Chaya has gone out of her way to repost, like, comment, share information that says basically that it was not a result of trauma, basically implying that Nex's death was almost a coincidence. So let's discuss a hypothetical situation. Let's say that this preliminary autopsy report is 100% right, without a doubt. Nex did not die of anything as a result of that initial altercation in the bathroom. Let's say that Nex sought out treatment at the hospital, and whatever treatment they were given resulted in an allergic reaction, and that is how they died, right? Let's say that that's true. Even then, that death is still the fault of Chaya Raichik, Ryan Walters, and Kevin Stitt. If they hadn't created such a horrible environment for transgender students in Oklahoma, Nex and that other student would not have been attacked in the bathroom. In that hypothetical situation, they would not have had to reach out to the hospital, they would not have had an allergic reaction or a medical complication, and they would not have died. Even if you somehow managed to find a way to ignore the death of this child, beforehand, after Nex had come out, they had faced bullying for I don't know how long, but probably extensive bullying up until the point that they were attacked in that bathroom. And I know this as someone who was openly transgender at a point in time in an Oklahoma public school system. It can be incredibly harsh, and people can be incredibly cruel. So to just sit back and look at a preliminary autopsy report and push blame off of yourself, it's honestly disgusting and it's horrendous. And Chaya Raichik should be held responsible, as well as those people who attacked Nex in that way. This blood is on their hands, and they should rot for what they did and how they created such a hostile environment for queer students in Oklahoma. I unfortunately, on a lighter note, I suppose, I unfortunately am not at the point in my content career where I can say all proceeds from this video go to XYZ, because I'm not monetized. But I will say that the GoFundMe for Nex's family, as well as places to donate that would help queer students in Oklahoma, will be listed below. If you would like to donate, that would be greatly appreciated. I know that this video is much more serious than a lot of my other ones, but if you watched up until this point, I just want to say thank you. If you are a queer person, please stay safe, especially if you are a queer person in Oklahoma. Please reach out to your loved ones. Try to stay safe as best as you can, because God knows that our government isn't going to help you.